All right, here we are live, back once again on the right angle cross of the Maya. Okay, we're really gonna check this whole Maya thing about the Maya because this is what we are here. This is the Maya. This is the explanation of the Maya. It's all about the Maya. And this is what is all human design is all about. What can we measure? How can we see humans? How does it really work? What's going on with us? This is it. There is no other explanation of the Maya than human design. It's the end story. And if you are born on the 32nd gate, first line, or any other line, this is something you really like. So let's look what it means for the writing across of the Maya and the 1-3 profile. So we have the 32, we have the cross of the Maya, and here we begin not with conservatism, but conservation. Remember that we're dealing with the tribe, and the whole thing about the 32, it's a personal manager, it's a financial manager. It's the whole thing about the tribe is what the tribe is interested in is tribal survival. The 32nd gate is the greatest talent scout in design. It's always looking for talent in the tribe. It's always looking for that potential 54 that can transform the destiny of the tribe. Life sustaining respect and attention to all aspects of all process or the uncontrollable urge to bypass essentials which inevitably lead to the disruption of continuity. This is indistinct. Instinct, instinct. Instinct is just as confusing as intuition. They are spontaneous existential expressions of the spleen. The difference is that where intuition is acoustic, there we're dealing with the smell, aroma, the nose, scratch, scratch. One threes are very good at paying attention to detail. Everything about the Maya is built on detail. If there is no detail, there is no detail, there is no Maya. The denser the Maya, the denser the detail. The denser the detail, the denser the Maya. It's just the way it goes. The Maya of today is much denser than the Maya of 2000 years ago. We have a very, very dense Maya. So much things have names. You give something a name, it has power. It takes the place of the Maya. And everything that it takes to transfer that name to others so that they recognize it is that it expands in Maya. Human design is expanding the Maya. We're bringing new language to the Maya. So everything about the Maya is based on the begins and the details. All aspect of the process is detailed attention. Now, one threes are super at that. They're brilliant after all. They have this deep potential intellectuality. They have a first line personality. It's very powerful. They're not like the 1-4 where there's a limitation what they will study. Basically, they study where their failures take them, in the sense of what the trial and error of life points them out. The tribe we know has a deep, deep, deep responsibility to the other. We call it support. One of the ways in which the 32 solves the process of the problem is that the 32 separates the personal relationship from the tribal relationship. Remember that only on the emotional side is the tribe interested in the pair beyond. On the splenic side, it's interested in seeing that the pair is catalyst for growth. For example, the 19th gate is the archetype of somebody seeking a partner, and the 59th gate is the archetype of somebody's gate is the archetype of somebody looking for a partner. Is the archetype of somebody looking for a partner, seeking a partner, looking for a partner. That's for marriage. That's for bonding within the tradition of marriage in the community. But when you come over to the other side, the 54 is looking for somebody who will recognize their talent, and the 32 is looking for somebody who they think there is talent. No one of the reasons why that is in the workplace. We have so many love affairs. It's the confusion between the 1949 with its mirror, the 5422, the marrying maiden. It's not a marrying maiden in that sense. Remember that the actual lines were written in a time where there was no nine-centered being, and the only hexagram that varies in any essential differences in terms of its formula with the ancient I Ching is in the 54 gate in the fourth line because the fourth line is so unique. This enlightenment and darkment, which has nothing to do with the original. The one trees here has a tremendous potential to be able to recognize who really has the talent to be not to be confused in thinking that they're finding a partner. The relationships between the higher up and their prodigy cannot turn into the bride and groom relationship. And that's the great rich. But it's also a way of compensating. In other words, there are many men, for example, who actually enjoy and appreciate their secretaries more than they do their wives. But then their secretaries don't have to live with them in the same way. And they don't have to live with the secretaries in the same way. There's always this confusion that is there. So a lot of sex happens on the work floor between this 32 54 configuration. It's always there. So let's go to the 1-4 on the riding across of the Maya. What you want out of this process is that there's a readiness to do the detail work, and 1-3s will do it. 1-4s are more interested in results. What they want to be able to do is influence others with that needs to be conserved, and what it needs to be conserved is talent. Remember that it's an inherent and power trip. The 32 says, I'm going to make you a star in the 54, and the 54 has to say, oh, gee, thanks, because the 54 hopes to become a 45, and then it can tell the 32 to go stuff it. But that's a long way down the road. First, you have to sleep with the producer, this kind of stuff. Now, you really have to, so many things that are in that are very distorted in the way our sexuality works. Again, we're dealing with duality. So you have to see that the 32 is very much connected to this process, that the inner, that the other for me can really bring about fulfillment, but not in a personal way, in the sense of relationships, but in the way in which it can be productive. So this is all about productive relationships and ways to bring this productive with other people.